notorious Wagner Group, or PMC Wagner, or CHVK Wagner, being the Russian abbreviation for Private Military Company, is a company or a group of companies that come together for a specific purpose or an operation. The Wagner Group is the Russian equivalent of the American Blackwater Group, except for it's not so big. Estimates put it at has about 5,000 contractors at any one time. Bulk of the contractors are ex-military, especially the ex-special forces. The group is rumoured to be founded by Dmitry Yudkin. He was born on June 11, 1970, served in both Chechen wars before finishing his Russian military service as a brigade commander of the GRU, which is the Russian military's intelligence service. That was around 2013. He began working for the Moran Security Group, a private group founded by ex-Russian military veterans, specialising in security against piracy. The group is apparently registered in Georgia. He then joined the Slovenic Corps, a Hong Kong registered private military contractor. The contractor was looking for staff to guard Syrian energy facilities during the Syrian civil war. That apparently didn't go so well. So after a short time in Syria, he returned to Russia and then started his own private military company called the Wagner Group, which is apparently his call sign. And depends on who you get the information from. It's also his favourite composer, named after his favourite composer, I should say, Richard Wagner. Or he apparently has neo-Nazi leanings, which is Richard Wagner was apparently Hitler's favourite composer too. The Wagner Group first appeared in 2014 when the contractors from the group were identified fighting with or giving military advice to Russian-backed separatists in the breakaway republics in eastern Ukraine. Then they appeared in Syria in 2015, a short time after the Russian Air Force commenced bombing raids in support of President al-Assad, with their biggest coup was to help Syrian forces recapture Palmyra in March 2016. Also in Syria, apparently in 2018, a group of Syrian soldiers backed by the Wagner Group attacked a oil refinery that was under the control of American-backed locals, and the Americans responded with massive air support, and apparently a few hundred of the Wagner Group contractors were killed in the operation. Wagner contractors have been operational in Libya. The first time things didn't go so well for them, but they returned in late 2019-2020 in support of Khalifa Haftar, a general in charge of the Libyan National Army, with apparent financing supposedly coming from the United Arab Emirates. In 2019, it was reported that Wagner apparently sent a few hundred contractors to Mozambique, but withdrew after 7 of them were killed. Now, also in 2019, there were rumours circulating that they had sent operatives into Venezuela. Now, this hasn't been confirmed by independent sources. The Wagner Group has also been involved in training and security roles in Sudan and the Central African Republic. Obviously, with training of the security forces in both countries. In Sudan, they're in charge of guarding the gold mines, and in the Central African Republic, the diamond mines. After a successful coup against the president in Mali, the French government has started withdrawing French soldiers from the country, and in its place, the Wagner Group has picked up contracts for security and training roles. In the lead up to the Russian invasion of the Ukraine in 2022, it was reported that hundreds of Wagner Group contractors infiltrated into the Ukraine for the specific purpose of taking out government targets, including the President Zelensky. Now, it's also reported in March a Russian missile strike at a training facility in Western Ukraine was due to the fact Wagner Group contractors operating nearby were able to pick up a concentrated group of British mobile phone signals which was then used to organise the attack against the facility, killing at least 35 foreign fighters. Western intelligence sources are guessing that the Wagner Group gets their funding from a variety of sources. One is they take a percentage of what the respective country has to offer. Like, say, in the Central African Republic, they have diamonds there, so they get a percentage of the sales of the diamonds. In Syria, they get a percentage of the gas and oil sales. But it's also recently been reported that the group has been financed by the Russian rich lister Yevgeny Prigozhin. He was born on June 1, 1961, spent 9 years in prison for theft before turning his life around with a restaurant and catering businesses that turned out to be highly successful. He has a upmarket restaurant in St. Petersburg called New Ireland, which has seen President Putin, French President Chirac, US President George W. Bush all dine there. His company, Concord Catering, has contracts feeding school kids to the Russian military, obviously all government-sponsored. Now, it's also been recently reported that apparently the guy that founded the Wagner Group, Dmitry Yutkin, is also listed as part of the Concord management. Despite this link, Yevgeny Prigozhin has consistently denied any relationship with the Wagner Group. In fact, the Kremlin has consistently stated that the former Russian soldiers are entitled to do whatever they like as long as they're not breaking Russian law. There's one thing for sure, just like the Americans and their CIA and possibly the Blackwater Group, wherever the Russians have interests, the Wagner Group could possibly show up. Definitely it's going to be happening in Africa in the near future, possibly other parts of the world. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Cheers.